It's 7 o'clock, and there's only one place you want to be while you're in lockdown here on Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, everybody. Hope you've had a phenomenal day with your families. I know there's been a lot of drivers out on track in all 5 of our servers here at listen to me. Solidarity E-Race. I've had a little bit maybe at lunchtime that I shouldn't have. Hey, no, only joking. But yeah, we are here at Kyalami, as you can see, and live qualifying is happening as we speak, which is fantastic. And I'm looking forward to bringing you a little bit of action that's happening out on the track, maybe a little bit of information that's been happening in the background and on the sidelines here, because we've had an incredible overnight spurt of entries. We are up to 123 competitors into the Solidarity E-Race, and it's a massive thank you from all of us here behind the scenes to all those new drivers who jumped in. Now, it's not over yet, because if you're still looking to come and join us here, you're more than welcome to, because there's another 2 days of qualifying to happen. Remember, you've got the rest of tonight, you've got the whole of tomorrow, and you've got until 8 o'clock on Tuesday morning to ensure that you've got in your qualifying lap times. We're looking at one of the drivers out on circuit at the moment. It's Vanna Hinop that's out there at this stage. And in fact, as we did last night, we've got Vanna in studio as well. So he's basically standing by, but he's actually also physically driving this Audi. So that just shows you the kind of technology we can play with. There's Van in the corner. And he brakes very late coming into Crocodiles. Nice line there from Crocodiles. Van, how's it going, buddy? Are you having fun?
Good, thanks. And you, Greg? Good fun.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky talking and driving, but I'll give it my best shot.
I like to see that you got your walk-in talking, or have you got Bluetooth on that system?
No.
We don't like making calls while you're making a race car. Trust me, it goes wrong. I can tell you from personal experience out of turn 7 at Swartkops. But we're going into turn 1 here at Kyalami. This is Crowthorne Corner. Van, take us through a little bit of information about where you've come from. What's the experience that you've had as a racing driver or part of a racing team? I believe you've been involved with the South African Endurance Series.
Yeah, so Greg, it actually all started with sim racing. I was about 10, 11 years old and I got my first steering wheel. So from there, it's been Formula One games and rally games and all that. And lately, it is games have become simulators. You know, it's just so realistic. And I stopped sim racing for quite a bit when studying, when working. And about 5 years ago, I started sim racing again. And then I started taking it seriously. Joined the league. You know, they have point systems, penalties, all that stuff. So then it's no longer a game. And then my mission was to get into real life racing, to get into motorsport as a work, you know. And I bought a go-kart. So moving from sim racing, bought a go-kart, started 4-stroke karting. And I do quite a bit of software development. So I started programming software for race strategy. And that's how I got into SA Endurance Series.
Oh, that's how you get out of shape.
See what I mean about talking?
Yeah. Nice recovery, bud. Well done. Yeah, brilliantly done. Well done. Good, great recovery there. So, okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a lap and maybe just talk it through so that the general public that are watching too, you concentrate on giving us the best lap that you can. No pressure because you're now live. And as they come down, this is, of course, the fastest part of the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. And in this car, I'm going to be probably getting up to about the 260 km/h mark, 100-meter marker, hitting the brakes, turning into Crowthorne. Much better line this time out of Crowthorne there from Vanna Hinop. Now, remember, this is the man who spends a lot of time playing around with bits and pieces that we need to be playing around with. And, of course, when we talk about software development, he's part and parcel of that. And there's a lot of software that goes into a game like this. So it's incredible to see and watch this guy give it everything he can. A little bit of karting experience, and he's talked about the 4-stroke karts. I wonder if he's part of the team that was involved with the 24-hour karting. Were you involved in that 24-hour karting that happened at V-Town there? Looks like we've lost Vanna there, so I'm going to just carry on with his lap as he comes into the S's, clipping the curbs. You've got to be very careful that you don't hit those curbs too hard. And you can see just how difficult it is here as they get to the top of the hill. I can tell you, this left-hander coming up at what was the old Westbank corner, now, of course, Leokop, is the trickiest corner on the circuit. It's a triple apex. You basically get the, well, it's good exit point there from Van, but he's pulled out. Oh, did you hit the rage button there, Vanna? You hit the rage stop, eh? I'm out of this lap. It's not working for me.
Maybe it's better that way.
Okay.
So
Well,
can you guys hear me?
I've got you loud and clear now, buddy.
Okay.
What I'm going to say to you is you've joined the 122 competitors and entered in, along with a couple of people from the general public, that have now added to almost 20,000 Rand that we've raised towards the Solidarity Fund for COVID-19. You must be pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, I gotta say it's epic. It just shows you about general public. Everybody wants to get involved, make a difference. And it's great to see sim racing community and actually motorsport through this difficult time, keeping motorsport alive, you know.
Well, that's exactly what we're doing. I'm glad that you mentioned that little hashtag of mine. I appreciate it, because that's what we're doing as part and parcel of what we're doing here. Keeping Motorsport Alive, of course, will happen on Tuesday night at 5 o'clock. And then Keeping Motorsport Alive will actually follow all the race action that's going to happen for the semi-finals and then, of course, for the grand finale that happens on Wednesday night. So if you've just joined us here on Live on the Drive, I've got Werner Hinop, as you can see on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. He's about to go out for another lap now and give us a little bit indication as to how things go. At this point in time as well, we've finished up a qualifying session, a couple of cars on track that are going to make their way out into the circuit. We got Crow Cup out there, Olifant, Elton Bow is there, Gary Richardson's in there, Chris Hoy's just joined us as well. Nice to see Michael van Rooyen there. I didn't realize Michael van Rooyen would be in the session too. It'd be quite lucky to get hold of him, but of course we'll get that maybe for tomorrow night. Michael van Rooyen, he's of course one of two drivers that were in the actual 9 hour here at Kyalami and actually podiumed in that race. It was fantastic to see both him and Gennaro Bonafide partnering up in a BMW. You can see Michael van Rooyen has decided to go into the Audi for his session here. Zander Roots is there as well by the looks of things. Charles Wilkin is back with us. I've got Maria, I've got Werner that we're chatting to. I've got Dada in there. Charles Langeveld, I think, is there. Lorenzo Gutteri, he was initial hot lapper of the beginning sessions that started this whole Solidarity e-race 3 days ago. Incredible to see that we've also got McCall in there as well. But I just want to quickly, while we're waiting for these drivers to go out, give you an indication as to the times that have happened so far. Ulrich Enslin, we spoke to him last night. He's out in a Lamborghini Huracan Evo. He's the fastest man in the session so far. And to give you a little indication of those sessions, we've done almost 10,000 kilometers of race laps around the circuit, with all these drivers driving on a daily basis, hourly basis, minutely basis on the 5 servers that we've prepared here for Solidarity E-Race. So Ulrich Enslin currently sits on a 1 minute 40.392 in his Lamborghini. The man who wanted to chat to, but wasn't able to make it with us this evening, Bashir Jadwat, he's on a 1 minute 40.581. Now, Bashir also comes from a gaming background. So it's pretty interesting to see that the two gamers, and I'm going to just pull up Bashir's bio here quickly while I'm chatting to you and give you an indication. He runs in the sim circles as Ghost Bash, 34-year-old from Cape Town. He's actually an accountant as his daily job. But in terms of his ghosting ability on a racetrack, he seems to be pretty much up there, having set the second fastest lap time and just ahead of multiple South African champion in all forms of racing, Charles Wilkin. And that's what I'm talking about, the actual racing that happens on tracks, on rally circuits and on off-road tracks all around the country. Zahir Esser is sitting in 4th place at the moment in his Porsche. He's on a 1 minute 40.656. Jason Absmeyer, another gamer, up into 5th place. Morgan McCall has moved up into 6th place as well behind him on a 140.680. Alban Smith, 140.683. There's 3 thousandths of a second between 6th and 7th place on the overall standings as we speak. Leslie Olifant is up in 8th place. Bruno Kadili is up into 9th. And Quade Claessens is in 10th place. So we've only got one physical racing driver, actual race driver, in that top 10. But if I tell you that the top 14 include Devin Leischer, Luke Lachesi, Christopher Langeveld, and Chris Shorter. And that's our second of our racing drivers, actually, as opposed to gamers. And up to 14th place, they are all within 6/10 of a second. That's how tight it's got at the overall standings here, with these drivers completing, as I said, about 10,000 kilometers on the circuit. I want to quickly pick up that message that came through to me earlier on from Richard Raymond, where he gave me the actual stats of how many laps we've done around here, and it was pretty spectacular to see how many. I'm just trying to find it quickly if I can. I think it's actually on my other group, so I'm just going to shoot out of this one and go to the other group. We've got so much technology happening at the same time here. So it's absolutely amazing to see how these guys have gone day in, day out, and they literally up until sort of 12 o'clock at night still trying to put in the hot laps. Now remember, the hot laps continue all the way through up until Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock. That is when the 5 servers, 9,900 laps plus, let's put in another 3 sessions since that came out earlier on today. So we're probably going to be close to 1,800 qualifying sessions, 9,000. I'm going to say there's about 10,500 laps that's been completed. So it's nearly a good, almost 100,000 Ks we're doing around here. It's brilliant stuff. I love it. But that's what it's all about. And that's, of course, what we're bringing you here tonight on Live on the Drive. Hope you're all enjoying this. We are doing it slightly differently, as you can see. It's not the same way. And it's a massive thanks to, of course, Brendan Marseille from EFX for giving us this opportunity to test drive our live system. This is the system that you're going to be watching on Tuesday and Wednesday night for the semi-finals and for the final. But I believe I've also got Neil Marks, who's joined us. Neil, have you pulled into pit lane to have a chat to us, or are you still driving?
I'm driving really poorly at the moment.
Yeah, oh, there he is. Check at that shot, man. You've got force feedback in your chair. You've got force feed. Oh, it's brilliant. The G-forces are in the house.
Thanks, man. Yep. Hope you can hear me.
So, Neil,
how's it going,
Greg?
I
can hear you loud and clear. Very well, and you, buddy. Take us through. I believe you've been involved in this for a long, long time. So the Marksman ZA is your calling sign. What's the experience that you've had on these kind of sim races?
So I'm a huge fan. The only problem is I'm not very fast, especially against some of these guys here. It's like really putting me in my place at the moment. But I've been playing sim games.
68.
I've been playing sim games since I was about 11, 12 years old. And yeah, just been a passion of mine. And then I always wanted to have a full motion seat. And then I looked at the price and I said, nope, not going to be able to afford one of those. Then decided, hey, I think I can probably build one of these myself. So that's kind of got me into it. And then,
is that an official Marksman chair that you're in?
Yeah, this is the Marksman RS01, the one and only. If you pay me a ton of money, I will build you one. But the amount of money I spent on it, no one wants to spend that much money to build their own one. So it's pretty sweet though.
It looks good. Looks like it gives you the
which
feedback.
Is quite good, yeah.
That's always a good thing, man. That's always a good thing. Yeah. Well, we're watching you coming into Crocodiles now. You've decided to go with the AMG. Now, a lot of guys are not taking that car, but with the South African flag flying on the sideline there, maybe you're just going to do a little bit of kiss for the team.
For sure, and also I can't drive the Audi, so that's the main reason why everyone else is rocking the Audis and the Gelados or the Hurricanes and the Porsches, and I can't drive any of those cars. I need front engine, rear wheel drive. It's the only way I can drive. And the thing is, I've consoled myself that I'm not going to qualify too high up, but I've been practicing my race pace, and I want a car that I can drive for 20 to 40 minutes, no issues, with minimal mistakes.
And
that's kind of that's my strat. That's my secret strat for this whole thing.
Oh, I like that. It's not a bad one to have. A lot of guys last night were chatting about the fact that it's important to have a car that you can get consistent lap times in, not necessarily 1 minute 41s. And in fact, looking at the lap times, guys, have a look at that top of the board there. I can't let you look at it at the moment because you're driving. But if everybody looks on the top of the screen, we've got a new fastest lap time. 1 minute 41.289. Lorenzo Corteri has just overtaken our initial leader, and that, of course, is Ulrich Ensslin. So I'm pretty sure at some point in this session, Ulrich is about to get into the car and going to have to come and set another race pace. Let me have a look and see. I'll just double check that maybe it is a 140. I beg your pardon. It is a 140. I beg your pardon. I was just looking at the I saw the 289. That's what caught me. So apologies there. Calm down, Lorenzo. It's not the fastest yet. You need to find a second. If you find a second, it'll be the fastest. There's too much technology here, like Brendan Marks. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to say Neil Marks down in 68th place. You're hoping for a good lucky draw on Tuesday to get you into a good semi-final.
Yeah,
listen, it's all part of the it's all part of the strategy, Neil. If you do get a good semi-final, there's a good possibility you can make the top 6.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like in this game, or in this sim, it doesn't matter what your qualifying time is. People make mistakes, people crash off. You can do the last to first kind of run if you want, if you get a good run. So that's what I'm going for. But there are some crazy fast guys in this.
Now, Neil, when you're sitting there, and I know you're not going to take this the wrong way when I say you'd be looking at possibly being one of the back markers, how important is it to be as aware of when those faster cars are coming, particularly in the longer race, the 20-lapper, to stay out of trouble and possibly not get in the way and get some penalties incurred?
I think even the 40-minute race is probably not long enough for them to lap you. It's going to be close, but always, just keep off the racing line if the guys are coming past you, especially in this more endurance GT3 style racing. Like, guys are actually, in real life, guys are fairly relaxed about letting faster cars through, and it's actually part of their strategy, because they'll rather follow a faster car through, hopefully catch up some time to the guys in front of them. Well, that's what my technique is. And also, you save a bit of fuel and you save a bit of tires as well by doing that, rather than having unnecessary battles and unnecessary fights with the people.
Now, that's interesting to see the way you've put that, because that's a gamer's point of view on how to do things if a faster car comes up on you. If you're a racing driver, there's a whole different strategy that's involved in a whole different technique. What the racing drivers are told, if you're a back marker, is to hold your line, and the faster car will find a way through on you. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see the mix-up in terms of how guys go into it and what the possibilities are of how things will change up if they do dramatically.
That's going to be an accident waiting to happen, I can see. I'm just looking forward to the first corner. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, there's going to be some.
And if I'm further back, it's probably the better place.
It's not a bad option.
No.
All right. Well, he's hit the wall in the back straight, so there you go. He's also done. Watch this. You're going to little hit a rage, stop, and reset. Watch and go. Reset. Pit box. Done. All right, Neil. You back in the pit box. We'll come back to you now, buddy. Have another couple of laps.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
Don't go too far. We'll catch up with you now. Now. Looks like a Porsche out of shape there. Leslie Oliphant has also done the same thing. He's also jumped back into the pit box. So that's how easy it is to get back in the pit box. Now, in the actual racing, and if you want to see a little bit of the race action that we did, of course, we have got a promo video that's gone out on our YouTube channel and on the Solidarity E-Race Facebook page. It's completely different to what we saw now. Of course, it was qualifying where you're sort of one-on-one against the clock as opposed to in an actual race. But there was really nice race action among some of our drivers earlier on, and we got to see them in full flight. Speaking of full flight, 140.944 from Charles Wilkin. We've got him on screen right now. He was the man we chatted to last night. And of course, he comes from a multiple karting, multiple saloon car, and multiple SA Rally Championship background. If I'm not mistaken, he's sitting on about 10 or 11 South African titles to his name. And one he's definitely looking to get hold of is some kind of a title on e-racing. And he's looking pretty tasty at this stage with a 140.944. 944 would put him down into about 12th place at this stage, but he has gone quicker and done a 140.647 earlier on as well. It is a 911 he is driving, that's right. Thank you, Brendan. It's not a 944 Porsche. I'm talking about his lap time of a 1 minute 40.944. But yeah, a 911 would actually be better for him. If you can get the 911 one, he'd definitely get a better lap time in there. I love having Brendan Marseille from EFX in my ears and giving me some great content to use at the same time. Stuff I'm not thinking about because I'm watching too many things. We hope you're enjoying all of this, ladies and gents. And as I said, unfortunately, with a slightly different way of doing it tonight, I can't see all the comments that are coming up on the page, but I know that Brendan's checking out those, and so is Gary from iLEB. It's going out via iLEB as well. We're going to be doing our Keeping Motorsport Alive and live footage from the semi-finals on Tuesday night and on Wednesday night, both at 7 o'clock, via Solidarity E-Race, via the Voice of Choice, and via iLEB as well. So please be on standby for that race action. It's going to be brilliant. Now, it's incredible to see there, 140.677. What has Wilkin done? 647. So he's 300ths of a second off his ultimate best time so far. But you can see Charles Wilkin is holding nothing back here. He's definitely out there to prove a point. And running a little off track, that's what you've got to be very careful of. If you make mistakes like that, they can disqualify your lap. So you've got to be exceptionally careful that you don't go too far off track. or cut the curbs or cut the corners too much. Otherwise, your time gets nullified. And that's what you've got to be exceptionally careful of. So that's one thing we need to be taking into account. So it looks like we're going to be, I think that's the way to go. At this point in time, we're not going to do a full hour because we only had the 2 drivers with us this evening. And a massive thank you there to Vanna and to Neil for jumping in. We'll get a couple more of the drivers. Hopefully going to get hold of Michael van Rooyen, maybe Mr. Roots as well, and possibly Lorenzo Gutteri tomorrow night on our final update before we, of course, shut the sessions down on Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock. Charles pulled out of the way so he doesn't get in the way of any of the cars coming up from behind. And he'll probably go and exit and go to pit box. There he is, back in the pit box now. Charles Wilkin for Team Sarko. So I think from our side, a massive thanks once again to AfriHost, Pure Storage, NEC, and Data Science Corporation, to Brendan from EFX for now giving us a live stream that we're able to use. And hopefully you've all enjoyed the live stream. This is the kind of stream we're going to use on our finals on Tuesday night as well as on Wednesday night. And remember, if you haven't entered yet, solidarityerace.co.za, you've got a day and a half to play around and get your lap times in to make the top 100. We have got 122 competitors already entered. You can see 21 of them in server 1 here. We've got 5 different servers running at the same time, so you don't have to necessarily have all the traffic that these guys are dealing with, but it's not a bad idea to be involved with all the traffic and get used to it from a race point of view. Also, don't forget that if you are a general public member and you're not got a race setup or a rig setup or a PC, you can enter as the Lamborghini just throws it down the road. If I'm not mistaken, I saw another Lamborghini of some nature. No, in fact, it was a Ferrari. It was Craig Jarvis and a Ferrari that got it wrong at that point on the track. But yeah, if you haven't entered and you want to be part of the lucky draw, remember, get on to solidarityerace.co.za, enter, register, pay your money in as a spectator or a fan, and you'll go into a lucky draw and get a chance to be driven around courtesy of Ferris Motors in a Ferrari somewhere around the South African shores. There's a magnificent hamper from the Supercar Lifestyle Group, and of course they are the big organizers behind this entire event. A massive thanks to them and the whole team behind them, and to Richard Raymond and to Brendan Marsay for all the technical backup in the background. And also a massive thanks, of course, to Wing Promotions for another lucky draw prize. We've got some money to give away to the general public. We've got some lucky draws for the drivers for some money. 500 Rand each for winners of each of the semi-finals. And remember, it's a purse of 20,000 Rand shared that we are looking to give away on Wednesday night at the grand finale. The winner will take 10,000 Rand home with him and a year's free data. Unbelievable stuff. From my side, I can't wait to see all the race action. We'll catch you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for another update on how things have gone here. And a massive thank you to everybody for joining us on Live on the Drive, as always. We look forward to bringing you all the action. Happy Easter to all the Live on the Drive fans, and, of course, to all of our the Solidarity E-Race fans as well. A massive happy Easter to all of you. And if you're celebrating, of course, any of the Jewish holidays or any of the other holidays that happen during this time, we also wish you all the very best. From my side, I'll see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Take care then. Bye-bye now.